Housing for hundreds of federal inmates set to move to the Bexar County Jail from a detention center is now in limbo.
That's because county commissioners are considering ending an agreement they have to house federal inmates in the old Laredo Street Jail. Eyewitness News reporter Addie Guajardo explains why the sudden change of mind. Addie?
Well, the Bexar County plans to start clearing the site where the Central Texas Detention Center sits to make way for UTSA construction projects. It's all part of a reason why they're looking to terminate the agreement they have with the federal government and a deal to transfer detainees to the Bexar County Jail complex.
More than 600 federal inmates call this detention center on Laredo Street in downtown home.
Some of them are being held for trial. Some of them they're transferring. Some of them are immigration violations.
GEO, a private corporation, runs the jail for the feds, but the building is owned by Bexar County. Bexar County has an agreement with the federal government to house the inmates. But on Tuesday, county commissioners agreed on a resolution to begin discussions to terminate that agreement and their plan to move those inmates to the Bexar County Jail.
Prisoner levels have gone up. So we just decided we want to get out of the business.
Judge Nelson Wolf says when the agreement was initially made, the jail had enough room to take inmates, but that's changed.
Bump, and it seems to be holding around that 4,200. And so it's beginning to kind of challenge us on jail capacity there.
For years, the plan was to renovate the adult detention center annex to house the federal detainees so the Laredo Street Jail could be torn down.
If we were to go with GEO out there, it'd cost the taxpayers like $12 million, and we don't want to do that.
The GEO-run jail is still being demolished as part of a UTSA construction project.
Campus there. On our tract of land, we'll go to the business school. Adjacent to it will be a school of data science. On the other side will be a cybersecurity. We put a lot of money into the creek there on that section that we're working on right now.
As for what will happen to the inmates, that remains unclear.
We'll work with the marshal's office to see what would be an orderly transition.
Now, the resolution reached by the county commissioners gives the federal government 30 days to get discussions underway and figure out where the inmates, will be moved. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Addie.